welcome to another episode of Inside the Gaming Studio. My name is Becky, and today we'll be talking about The Legend of Zelda. Specifically, we will be talking about Zelda from The Legend of Zelda and her iteration in the Ocarina of Time. In The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Zelda has two personas that she inhabits. There's Zelda, the Princess of Hyrule, and there's Sheik, a Sheikah warrior who Zelda uses as a way to hide her true identity during the time of Ganondorf's reign. And originally, this video began as a look into who Zelda identifies with more, Sheik or Zelda. And I thought that question was going to be really interesting and that I'd be able to really find clues for who she might enjoy being more. Does she like being the Princess of Hyrule with all these responsibilities? Or does she like being Sheik, a strong and powerful warrior? But upon researching more, I found out that there weren't many clues to this at all, and I don't know why I was surprised by this. I wasn't really surprised by this, let's be honest. Basically, I didn't find any clues to this, but what I did find were clues that she is not 100% Hylian, but perhaps has some Sheikah in her, that somewhere down the line there's a reason why she chooses to be a Sheikah warrior, that she chooses to be Sheik, that she chooses to identify with this culture. When you first meet Zelda, it's at Hyrule Castle, and she's about 10 to 12 years old. There are no signs that she is connected to the Sheikah, except that her nursemaid is Impa, a Sheikah who was chosen to protect Zelda. Once you collect all the spiritual stones and return to Hyrule Castle, there's a cutscene in which you see Zelda riding away with Impa as Ganondorf chases after them. It is at this point that you don't see Zelda again for many years. It is assumed that for the next 7 years that Zelda goes into hiding. Whether she goes into hiding as Zelda or Sheik, we're not really 100% sure, but maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Assumably within the 7-year span though, she takes on this persona of Sheik, because when you arise 7 years later as now older Link, you meet Sheik, and so that is Zelda. So let's talk about Sheik. Sheik is described as being the survivor of the Sheikahs. That's in her words and no one else's. And the Sheikahs are a very mysterious clan that have always sworn to protect the Hylian royal family. They are a wise group of people who have pointed ears, much like Hylians, and red eyes. This is where we start to first get some clues of Zelda and Sheik's relation to each other. Obviously, Sheik is Zelda and Zelda is Sheik, but how exactly does Zelda either hide her blue eyes or her red eyes when she becomes Sheik or Zelda? When she is Sheik, she does not have blue eyes, and when she is Zelda, she does not have red eyes. And this is probably done through magic, which Hylians are able to utilize. On top of this ability of Zelda's to either hide or show a certain color of eye, to onlookers, there's other types of magic that we can assume that she can utilize. And that is that Zelda has dreams in which she can see visions of the future. And that's not really something normal that people can just have, like that's assumably something magical. So Zelda is able to see visions of the future through her dreams, and Sheikahs are known to pass down stories that either retell historical events or tell of events that have yet to come. Let me repeat that. Sheikahs are able to tell stories of events that have yet to come. I'm not entirely sure how Sheikahs are able to tell of events that have yet to come, but there's that connection right there. Zelda has dreams that show of things that have yet to come, and Sheikahs are able to tell stories of things that have yet to come. This was kind of my first clue, my first connection that Zelda has with the Sheikahs, that there's something more to this relation that Zelda has with herself in Sheik and with Impa and with the Sheikahs as a whole. A second clue to Zelda perhaps having much closer ties to the Sheikah is with how she describes herself when she is Sheik. She says, "I am Sheik, survivor of the Sheikah," when telling Link at their first meeting about the legend of the Triforce. She could say that this is a legend I have heard, this is a legend of history, but she says this is a legend of my people, and I am Sheik, survivor of the Sheikah. This could be written off as Zelda just really selling the part, that she is Sheik, a Sheikah, the last of her kind, but instead, I think it's Zelda fully embracing this identity and the culture that goes along with it. This is her saying, I am part of this culture, that I am part of this clan, that this is who I am. The third clue of Zelda's relationship to the Sheikah kind of plays with this idea of why did Zelda choose to be Sheik? Why did she choose to be a Sheikah as her disguise? Sheikah are the protectors of the Hylian family, and so by disguising herself as one, it is Zelda protecting herself as a Sheikah. If people found out that there was a Sheikah running around, they would assumably look for a Hylian family member to be nearby, especially if Zelda had gone missing and they were looking for Zelda. If you see a Sheikah, why would you not assume that perhaps Zelda would be close by? Zelda is the last of her family, so that would mean that the chances of her being near that Sheikah, if they found Sheik for instance, would be very high. So why choose to be a Sheikah? Why choose to take this risk? Why not simply be a warrior or a peasant or just a nobody? Instead, she chose to be a Sheikah. Is it because Zelda has ownership in this culture? Because she wants to be part of this culture? Because there's a deeper connection here than just what Impa may have taught her? I don't know. Again, these are just clues. These are just clues and ideas that, if you piece together, kind of looks like a pretty clear picture to me. And now here's our final clue. Every iteration of Zelda and every single Legend of Zelda game comes with a different artwork of Zelda. She looks completely different in Skyward Sword than what she looks like in Twilight Princess, and she looks different in Ocarina of Time than what she looks like in Wind Waker, for instance. So that being said, each Zelda kind of has something like distinct and different about them. So what's interesting about the Ocarina of Time Zelda is that the artwork of adult Zelda found in the game depicts her with having the symbol of the Sheikah on her dress. In between the Triforce and the Hylian Eagle lays the Sheikah symbol, right there, out in the open, on Zelda's dress. This simply could have just been a nod at her alter ego, but it could also be a nod at her lineage. Perhaps Zelda wants to show off who she really is, that she is not just a Hylian, but that she is also a Sheikah, that she is not just part of the Hylian royal family, but that there's something more to her. She finds pride in this. She wants people to know who she is. What's interesting is the symbol is not found on young Zelda, perhaps because it's not publicly known that Zelda has Sheikah blood in her. Perhaps Zelda didn't learn about this until that 7-year period between when she was a young girl and when she becomes an adult. Perhaps there's more at play here, though. The Sheikah, although they protect the Hylian royal family, are others amongst the Hylian community. They are outcasts, they are mysterious, and they make people uncomfortable. So, had people found out that the King of Hyrule had, in some way, shape, or form, slept with somebody in order to produce a child, and that child now has Sheikah blood in her, perhaps that would not be a very good thing for the king to let be known. So maybe this is something that Zelda had to keep under wraps. Maybe it is something that she just did not know about until she was an adult. Regardless, though, it is interesting that when she becomes an adult, that she decides to display this proudly for all to see. So those are all like the major clues, but there's kind of some more little tiny clues and little tidbits of information that help play into this theory. You never know who Zelda's mother is, so there is no way to prove one way or another whether she is Sheikah, whether she is Hylian. What we do know is that the royal family is dwindling at this point, so keeping the line pure with non-Sheikah marriages, for instance, was not such a high priority. The highest priority was just producing more heirs. One final little tidbit that has always interested me is this debate whether Sheik is a male or a female. Is Zelda disguising herself as a male or female? To me, I always believed that Sheik was a female, not really sure why, but I did. There are many people, though, that believe that Sheik is a male, and that could be a key point to this whole theory. If it became known that Zelda had Sheikah blood and was going to hiding, then perhaps people would have begun to search for a female Sheikah and not a male one. If Zelda used a male disguise, she could still fully embrace her culture while still protecting herself. I think there's kind of just like one final line that describes this whole theory and what kind of like cements this idea in my mind at least, and that is that Zelda chose to become a Sheikah. She made a conscious decision to embrace this culture, to live in these stories, to claim that she is the final one of her clan. These are conscious choices that she made, that Impa didn't make for her, that Impa probably laid in front of her, but that Zelda chose to pick up. So that's what I believe. I believe that Zelda made this choice because she can relate to being a Sheikah on a much deeper level than what she can read in a book. I think that there is some sort of blood relation between her and the Sheikah clan, and that is why she chose to embrace that fully and disguise herself as that. And it's just a theory, and I hope you enjoy it, and let me know what you think in the comments, and if you have theories that go along with this, or other Zelda theories that you think are fascinating, then please share them. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Inside the Gaming Studio.